Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our new student information session for Texas Southern University, your home away from home, your next educational adventure. I'm Dr. Brian Armstrong. I am the Assistant Vice President for Student Enrollment. I'm a proud TSU alum, and I'm excited to serve as your host tonight. But it won't be me alone that helps you learn about the next steps for TSU. I have several of my colleagues. I see my supervisor, Dr. Nita Boutte-Queen, is on. She is the senior associate provost and the senior associate vice president for academic affairs. She is a social worker by trade field. She served formerly as the dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Behavioral Sciences. She also served as the department chair for social work. So any social work students out there, Dr. Boutte-Queen and several of her colleagues in the College of Liberal Arts and Behavioral Sciences will be excited to meet you during orientation and help you learn more about the amazing area of social work. So we are excited. Tonight we have several students, hundreds of students, who are joining us tonight because you've been admitted to TSU and you are ready for your next steps. I know students are on from all over. I was going to say Texas, but I've seen we've broken the borders already. New Orleans, I saw Chicago, I saw the DMV area, all over. So we're excited. Tonight, we're going to give you some key information about what awaits you over the next couple of weeks as you prepare to enter Texas Southern University. So along with my colleagues from housing and financial aid and student engagement, we're going to share with you what those next steps look like. This is a webinar feature, so we can't see everyone on the webinar, but you have the option to use the Q&A button. Please, if you have any questions or you just want to shout out where you're from or your high school or what college you're transferring from, let us know in the Q&A section, but also more importantly, let us know what questions you have. We're going to dedicate the next hour or so just to you to make sure that you are ready. You know when, you know what, you know how, all the next steps that you need, we're going to give them to you tonight. So let's jump right in. Before we start talking about next steps, let's talk about the first step. You've chosen Texas Southern University, one of the nation's largest historically Black colleges and universities. Not one of the oldest either, right? 1927, we're almost 100 years old, but it didn't take us 100 years to become one of the nation's largest powerhouses when it comes to being an HBCU. We have it all here at TSU. We have some world-renowned programs. We have some dedicated faculty and staff members who are ready to help you become our newest Tigers. We're a public HBCU, and one of the cool things about being a public HBCU is it typically doesn't cost as much for students to attend TSU. It's very possible to make this a debt-free opportunity. Not every time, not every student, not every case, but we try our best to keep our tuition rates as affordable as possible. We're going to cover tuition quite a bit tonight and the cost to attend TSU. So hang tight for that, for parents in particular. We're right in the heart of Houston, Texas. We are Houston's HBCU. We are the heart and soul of Houston. When you choose to attend TSU, you're choosing to attend a school right in one of the nation's biggest cities. That downtown area is just one of several skylines that we have here in Houston, but Houston is a great complement to attending college at TSU. There is so much for you to do. Those internships, off-campus housing, the fun life, right? College will be a lot of serious work to make sure that you're ready for those careers and your next steps, graduate school, law school, medical school, but you're gonna have a really good time when you're attending TSU. There are so many activities that you can do both on and off campus. Right there, if you've never been to our campus, what I'm showing you right now is a picture of our plaza area. And right there, you can see behind the trees, I think it says a little bit of TSU, welcome to Texas Southern University, but that's our famous Tiger Walk. So if anybody's ever told you about being on the Tiger Walk at TSU, that's a piece of what our Tiger Walk. You'll learn more about the Tiger Walk during orientation and some of the historical value we have with the Tiger Walk, but you're looking right at the heart of our campus. Right there is the very first building you'll come to for new student orientation. Well, one of the first ones. You'll actually come to the Student Center first, but then you'll head over to the Granville Sawyer Auditorium, where we bring all the magic of being a new student to you in person when we start doing our new student information sessions. The best thing about attending Texas Southern University are the amazing programs that we offer. We have over 100 plus academic programs for you to choose from being an undergraduate student, like all of you will be, to getting a master's degree, or to, like many of us did, why stop at a master's degree when you can get a doctorate degree, a PhD, an EDD, PharmD? So there's so much you can do educationally right here at TSU. So all of that awaits our new Tigers. This is what students tell us. We ask all the time. We're so nosy. Why did you choose TSU? What made TSU stand out to you? These are the top 5 reasons. Those amazing programs that I'm going to share with you in a few moments. We have a lot to choose from, and that's always the top of the list. You had my major. We're coming to learn so that we can earn. So our majors, our academic programs typically top the list for the reasons students choose to attend TSU. But right behind that, though, our affordability. Unlike other universities that have taken advantage of deregulation, tuition deregulation, and have all these crazy rates, we've kept our rates affordable. You'll see in a moment, and don't take my word for it by itself. Do your homework, do your research, compare schools that you've been admitted to. You'll find that TSU is, if not the, one of the most affordable institutions. Parents, you hear me say it, we are affordable. Now, we're not free, so we'll talk about the cost, but we've tried our best to make our university as affordable as it can be. We don't want you to go into debt, because debt doesn't need to happen. It has to happen in some cases if the financial aid doesn't always work out, but in many cases, you can choose to attend TSU with as little to debt as possible. Being in Houston is another big reason, one of those top reasons students choose to come to TSU. We're right in the heart of everything. There's so much you can do. What happens in Houston can go anywhere. So we're really excited to have you guys choose to attend school in Houston. But the 2 reasons that aren't always the top of the list, top, but we know make that educational experience even sweeter, our support programs and our campus life. From our first year experience to all of the activities that you will be associated with during your first year here at TSU, and all of the things that you can do on our campus. And we're going to talk about some of those fun activities and clubs and organizations you can be a part of. But all of that is why many students should choose Texas Southern University as their institution. So we're very excited that you will soon become a part of all this greatness. But remember, you're coming to learn. You come to learn so that you can earn, right? So here are the undergraduate schools and colleges at Texas Southern University that you've chosen already. When you applied for admission, you selected your major. Even if you were undecided, you probably chose general studies, hopefully, or we'll have to do some changing of majors during orientation. But every student who attends TSU is in a major. There is no undecided here at TSU. There is no undeclared major here at TSU. Every student that enrolls at TSU for a degree-seeking program is in a major, and the majors are under one of these 8 schools and colleges. This is important to know as you planning to come to college, because typically during orientation, freshman week or new student week, many of the things you'll do will be based on your major under your college or school. So for my accounting majors, marketing, finance, all those fun folks, all of you are under the Jesse H. Jones School of Business. If you're majoring in communication, that could be journalism, radio, television, film, entertainment. There's a lot of different majors under the School of Communication. Education, that would be interdisciplinary studies here at TSU. But we also have kinesiology, athletic training, health. There's a lot of different programs under the College of Education, and a whole lot more. I'm going to actually go to the next slide real quick and show you the various undergraduate degree programs under our 8 schools and colleges. So you've already chosen one of these majors for your major. And so when you come to orientation, when you come to TSU as a new freshman or a new transfer student, you will be under one of these 8 schools and colleges. College of Liberal Arts and Behavioral Sciences. I talked about social work earlier, but we've got psychology, sociology, art, English, general studies, history. They got them all. That's one of the biggest colleges on campus. We also have the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs, named after 2 of our prominent alumni, Barbara Jordan and Mickey Leland. So if you're coming to major in administration of justice, that's our version of criminal justice, political science, emergency management, homeland security, one of those unique majors right here at TSU, public affairs. We have the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. If people know about TSU, they typically know about pharmacy and law. Those have been our 2 anchor programs for decades. And so the law school, the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, that awaits you once you get your first degree for those pre-law majors. But the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences is renowned. Most of our minority pharmacists in Texas, they went to the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in many cases. So we have the pre-pharmacy, that would be biomedical science, and we have several other majors under our College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. If you're coming to do STEM, we do STEM real big here at Texas Southern University. We have several degree programs under our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. There's a lot of buzz on campus right now because tomorrow we're going to have a really big event with United Airlines. TSU has become the aviation HBCU. So if you've not thought about aviation, flying airplanes or working in one of the airline industries or airline, nationally, federally, statewide, there's a lot of things you can do right here. And TSU has become that aviation institution. So if you're undecided, right, a general studies major, maybe you want to give aviation a look, go to our website. You'll see a lot of things that we've done recently and very soon. We got a big event coming up tomorrow on our campus. But there's biology, which is our #1 major for incoming freshmen. We've got several engineering programs, computer science, maritime transportation, math, physics. We got it all. We're a STEM school. And then last but not least, one of our newest opportunities for educational programs would be our College of Transdisciplinary Studies. Not for freshmen, that's more for transferring students who have worked already and have some ability to kind of do a fast track program using their work experience. So these are the undergraduate programs that we offer here at TSU. And this is an exciting time of year because graduation is coming up in a few weeks. We have over 1,000 students who've applied to graduate. So it's a fun time. We'll be calling all these schools and students will be crossing stages to get their diploma covers and waiting to get their degrees conferred and all that good stuff. So a lot of exciting time here at TSU. A couple of updates for our incoming freshman students. Remember, freshmen, you must submit your final high school transcript to make all of this official. We used your unofficial transcript during the application process, but you still got to graduate. You still got to have your final high school class rank and GPA. So don't forget, with all the fun of you graduating, right? You celebrating a milestone, you got to remember to make sure your high school registrar or attendance clerk or whomever does your high school transcripts sends TSU your final high school transcript. There will be a slight hold on your record until we get that transcript turned in. So we don't want that hold to hold you up, right? We want to make sure that you're good to go. For my dual credit students, we're really big here in Texas with dual credits. You want to make sure that you also submit a request to the community college or the university that you're attending for your dual credits. Don't forget those all-important dual credits. That's going to shorten your time here at TSU, and we're okay with that. We say 4 years, right? 15 times 8 equals graduate. We don't mind 7 times 3 or whatever we get to 120 in the shortest period of time. So if it takes you 3.5 or 3 years, or for those dual credit students, if it takes you 2 years, we want you to get educated so that you can begin your next steps. So don't forget to send in those college transcripts as well. Many students didn't have to turn in an SAT or ACT because we're still waiving those during our COVID admission requirements. This is our last year officially until we have that reviewed by our Board of Regents and our administration. But if you know that you may qualify for the TSI exemption due to your SAT or ACT scores, or if you're not even sure, but you want to have them sent in, don't forget to go to the College Board's website or the ACT's website and log into your profile, your portal, and request to send TSU your transcripts as well. That could help you with the TSI score. And I know many of you in Texas know what the TSI is, and I know many of you've already taken it. We'll talk about TSI in a coming slide, but there are some exemption criteria that you may qualify for using your SAT or your ACT scores. And maybe you didn't send those to us when you were admitted because you didn't need to. Now's a good time to have those sent in to us before we start registration for our new freshmen and our new transfer students, okay? So our new freshmen, remember these key things as you're going through the next couple of weeks, okay? Transfer students, welcome to your new university. We're excited that you've taken the step from a 2-year to a 4-year opportunity. We're glad that TSU will be that 4-year experience for you. Remember to submit all of your official college transcripts. Sometimes students think, oh, I'll just turn in my last one because the last one that I attended, the last school that I attended has everything on there. That doesn't work that way. We need a record of all the schools you've previously attended. We don't want to cheat you out of any credits you've earned. So you may not think you did well in that class, but we may can find an opportunity to transfer that class into your degree program or into TSU as maybe some elective credit or miscellaneous credit. Let us do that for you. So submit all of your transcripts to us to make it official. If you're currently enrolled at your community college or a different university, don't forget to also submit one more transcript once your grades post for the spring semester. Or if you plan to stay at that school through the summer or May, don't forget to send another transcript once you've finalized all your grades. So if it's spring or May or summer, you want to send us at least one final transcript so that we can get all of your transcripts evaluated for your college credit. And once you are admitted and your transcripts are received, double check those credits. Just make sure that you can go through there and make sure that we've given you credit for everything you're eligible for. Many of the things that we do, a human still has to kind of oversee it. And so humans are human, right? They make mistakes. We make mistakes. So we want to fix those mistakes as fast as possible. So you can be our initial auditor. You double check to make sure that what you've passed with a grade of C or better is transferred into TSU. Now, will it apply to your degree plan in some direct way? Your academic advisor will help with that because sometimes it depends on how the class is worded, the title of the class or the content of the class. The advising team, the academic departments, maybe the dean will have to look at those course equivalencies to see if it's the same content or close enough. So degree to degree will come from your academic advising area and your academic department, but the transferability of the course is already set in stone, a grade of C or better. So from an accredited, regionally accredited institution. So got to make sure that we make sure that you know, we're looking for you to have gone to a regionally accredited. So if the school has a national accreditation or a statewide one, it may have worked for that school, but we are a regionally accredited institution, and our accreditation requires that we only transfer classes in that are also regional from a regionally accredited school. So if you don't know what that means, Google regional accreditation and make sure that your school is on that list for that. But in most cases it is, so you don't have to stress too much about that. All right, here's what you've come for tonight. What are my next steps? Next steps, new students, steps to enroll. What we want you to do right now, every student, is to make sure that you can log into your MyTSU portal, the current portal. Now, when you typically log in, you're going to see two links, and I'm going to show you in a moment what that looks like. You typically can see two. Did I not? Oh, I think I have a slide coming up on that. So I'll show you what those two different options are. Good evening, Ms. Barker.
Good evening, Dr. Armstrong.
Do me a big favor. Okay, perfect. All right. So once you can log into your current student portal, that's half the battle right there. And if you can't log in, that's okay. We'll send you some information on how you can either do it yourself or you can contact our TSU help desk for that. Very soon, we're going to ask you to choose us. We like being chosen. So very soon, out of all the schools you got accepted to, and we know you guys are scholars, parents, you've done an amazing job. I know that you're on TikTok and Facebook and every other book and talk out there. You're bragging. She's got admitted to 10 schools. Well, there's only one she's going to. It's the one right here. We know it's TSU. So very soon, we're going to ask you to confirm to attend Texas Southern University. Now, confirming to us is going to let everybody else know she's going to TSU. So that'll happen very soon. We're going to start having that information sent out to you very soon. What you can do right now, though, is submit your bacterial meningitis vaccination record. I have a whole slide for that, so I won't spend too much time right now on that. Once you've turned in your vaccination record, you can begin to send in your TSI assessment scores, or you can see if you're exempt, or you can schedule to take the TSI. I have a whole slide for that too, and I'm sure I'm going to start seeing that Q&A button light up, because that's going to start thinking, wait a minute, I've already had that TSU. Wait a minute, how do I send it? We're going to show you all the good ways that you can turn in your TSI scores. We know you've been waiting, Ms. Barker and Mr. Anderson and Ms. Raven. They hear you. They know they are working right now to get ready for you to begin to apply for housing on May 1st. So if you didn't know what date we're ready for you on, you now know it will be May 1st. That's when our housing application portal will open. But let me give you a quick note. If you don't have your vaccination record turned in, you won't see your campus housing portal open on May 1st. You'll think that something's wrong. You'll be trying to turn it in, and we're going to be like, no vaccination, no application. So you got to turn your vaccination in right now. So on May 1st, you'll be one of the first students that gets to apply to live on campus next year. But we know living on campus comes with a cost, and we understand what that looks like financially. So I know that I see Ms. Palmer on. She's got a lot of good information to share with you tonight about financial aid. What's that going to look like? When will that start happening? So we got that coming to you. We're going to talk about what it costs to attend TSU. Mr. Thomas is on, our Executive Director of Student Accounting. So he and I are going to share with you some things about what it costs to attend. Parents, that'll be for you to tune in, to take some notes, to make sure that your tiger is ready financially as they are socially and academically. And then last, we'll give you a sneak preview at what's to come for new student orientation. We're gonna call those preview days. We've got several, Ms. Barker and I and several others on here. We're working to plan some fun preview days for you to come to campus starting in June to experience all of this energy and to complete your steps to enroll here at TSU. So let's dive right into all that I just covered step by step. And if you have questions, parents and students, please feel free to use the Q&A section as I'm going through the information. All right, My TSU. No matter where you are on our website, you're going to always see this top bar up here that travels with you. So if you want to learn more about the United Airlines coming to our campus or our gala coming up on Saturday or all the fun things we have going on here at TSU, you can go deep into our website. But just remember, when you want to log into your My TSU portal, you'll just click that My TSU icon at the top. So if you never have seen this before, your first time seeing this, this is where the My TSU information lives, and it travels with you. No matter where you go into the content of our website, that link will always travel with you. But when you first applied to TSU, we sent you the information for the left side portal. That's called the prospective portal. But there's an X right there because you are prospects no more. Now you're current TSU students. Although you're not registered yet, we still consider you to be a current student. So now is the time for you to start using the current portal, okay? So no more T numbers, no more 6-digit pins or whatever pin number you created. That is past due now. You're now going to start using the current student portal, which is on the right side, okay? And these are the credentials you will use to log into the portal. You would have already received an email from me that gave you your student email address. Now, if your email is not showing to be valid, please email us at admissions@tsu.edu or the help desk. We gave you the help desk information. Give us a call because you got to make sure that you can log into the portal. All of this information is going to live in that portal, and it does you no good if you can't get into that portal, okay? The way that you'll log in with your student email account will be the initial password that we're showing right there. Capital Q, exclamation point, and your date of birth in 8 digits. Now, you got to follow that format exactly. That's not a recommendation. That's not a suggestion. The system is sensitive. It needs to see a capital Q, exclamation point. So for those ladies with those pretty long nails and you're going real fast and all of that, make sure that you're using a capital Q and an exclamation point and your 8-digit date of birth, right? 02 for February, 06 for June, right? You got to use the O if you have a single digit date of birth for your month or your day. And then you'll use all 4 of your year, right? So 02, 06, 2006 would be the 8-digit format. I know I'm saying that kind of slow, but I want to make sure because when I'm in high schools, I see students trying to type out October and no. Only Q, exclamation point, 8 digits. Then you will have to set up the Microsoft multi-factor authentication app. You'll have to download that app on your phone or your computer because your information at TSU is very secured, very private. We don't want it to be where somebody can know your date of birth and go in there and put Q exclamation point. Once you do the initial password, you will have to set up a cell phone number or an email address or a phone number to call because each time you log in, they'll send you a code, just like Wells Fargo and Amazon and all the other accounts that we have. We're using the same technology to keep your information secured, okay? If you need help, please call us. Our number at the help desk is 713-313-4357. That's help. Or I emailed you a link to go to, or if you click that QR code right now, it'll take you to a web page where you can reset your own password. You don't need OIT's help in most cases, unless your student email is invalid. You won't be able to make your email valid. OIT will have to help with that. But if your email is valid and your password needs to be reset to a default one first, then you'll be able to do that at that QR code right there. Once you log in successfully, these are the things you will see. This is a version of how you successfully log in. So if you see DegreeWorks, you made it, you're in, you got it through. But look at the highlighted areas that I've given you. Once you hover over the student tab and you click the little down arrow, that's what you will see there as a admitted student. You're going to see DegreeWorks. That's your degree plan. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in an upcoming slide. Financial aid will be waiting for you right there. That's how you'll check your financial aid award letter. That's how you'll see if you have any outstanding documents and things like that. For those of you who want to upload your vaccination record, your meningitis vaccination record, you can do it from that Medicat Connect link in your MyTSU portal. We also have an email address, and I'll give that to you in a moment, but you can't upload your record from your phone or your computer. And then once you start signing up for classes, you'll be able to click the registration and records link. And then once you want to see what the bill is, parents, you'll be able to click that student accounting information. And there's a whole lot more that awaits you in the MyTSU current student portal. And then one of the things you'll be able to see when you click the financial aid tab will be the status of your financial aid. So that'll start happening in early May. I think we're looking at May, maybe the first week or so in May, you'll start getting financial aid notifications. Just continue to monitor your TSU and your personal emails, because I'm going to be behind the scenes sending updates and information when it's ready for you to have access to it. So consider me to be your personal concierge when it comes to you entering TSU, because I'll be sending updates to your emails and other, we'll have phone calls and text messages and stuff like that. In Texas, the law is if you're under the age of 22, you must turn in your bacterial meningitis vaccination. So if you're coming from Chicago or wherever you are on this planet, if you're under the age of 22, the state law requires you to turn in your meningitis vaccination. Parents, if you have questions about that or not really sure what all that good stuff, this is the website right here. You can also find it on our website. Just type in meningitis and you'll see this link here. It gives you some other options to do if you have questions or some things like that. But in most cases, you've already had the vaccination maybe some years ago, maybe recently, because in Texas, we all know that's a requirement for going to college. There are two ways you can turn in your vaccination record. You can upload your record to the Medicat Connect portal that I'm highlighting right there. Or if you're not really sure if the portal is working or you need maybe an easier way to send your record in, just email your record to vaccines@tsu.edu. But students and parents, spot check it first, because the meningitis vaccination must be within the past 5 years, and that vaccination must be on your record. We just need that one vaccination, by the way. We don't need the whole history of the rubella and mumps and measles and all that, but if you want to send your whole vaccination record, we'll take it. But we're looking for that one meningitis vaccination record. If you've not yet had that, now is the time to take that, because starting May 1st, when the housing portal opens, you won't be able to apply for housing if our student health center doesn't already have your vaccination record on file. And as you can see down there, it says allow 3 business days to process it. So don't send it in on May 1st trying to apply for housing on May 2nd, because we're telling you right there, it takes a few days for our staff to review it for accuracy and to get it processed. So, and when you log into your MyTSU portal, you'll be able to actually see if you have any holds and things under registration and records. You'd be able to see if you have an active vaccination hold. So you can check that in the MyTSU portal as well. All right, TSI information. By attending a school in Texas, I don't know what I just did there. By attending a school in Texas, you are required to take the TSI exam. If you're an incoming freshman or if you're a transfer student and you haven't had a college level math or a college level English course, you would still be required to take the TSI exam. TSI, Texas Success Initiative. It is a placement exam. We don't use your high school GPA. We don't use SAT or ACT to place you in classes. We use the TSI information or your transfer credits for my transfer students out there. So if you're in high school right now, you in Texas, you've probably already had the TSI. Certainly if you have dual credits, you've taken it already. But double check tomorrow with your high school guidance counselor or your career counselor to make sure that if you've had it, you send those scores in to us. Now, I did some research, Dr. Butte Queen. I noticed that we are a participating partner with the Texas College Bridge. I just got to find out more about that partnership. But we are one of the 21 schools on their website as a partnering institution. So we very much may have the ability to get those scores if you've had that done through the Texas College Bridge. That was one of a hot question we had last week during our 2 sessions. So we are a partnering institution, one of 21 schools in Texas that's partnering with them. But double check with your high school counselor or your 12th grade assistant principal. There's somebody at your high school that can help you navigate the TSI information. If you've not yet taken the TSI or you're not sure you need to sign up for it, you can sign up for it. Dr. Hobson, I'm not sure she's on or not. Let me see if Dr. Mans is on, but Dr. Hobson is working with our testing center and she's offering the TSI. Here are 2 graphics. She just had a session this past weekend. So the next one she has coming up is May 11th. So if you're in the Houston area, and I know many of you are right here in H-Town with us, you can sign up for the May 11th session. Now, I know some of you may be exempt from the TSI though. I'm gonna go back 1 slide. Because if you have certain high SAT or ACT scores, you may be exempt. So at this website right here, tsu.edu/TSI, that's the page I'm showing you right there. In the middle of the page, I put a highlight there. You can click in the middle of that page to see if your SAT or ACT scores are exempt required, or if you want to send us your TSI scores that you already have taken, you can click that link that says click here to release your TSI scores to TSU, or you can sign up here to take the TSI exam. So all one-stop shop for TSI, right? Turn in your scores, request to send your scores to us, see if you're exempt, or take the TSI. Take it remotely through TSU or take it on our campus. We have a testing session coming up on May 11th, or you can contact Dr. Hobson, testing@tsu.edu or TSI@tsu.edu, and you'll learn more about the testing opportunities for the TSI exam. We are unable to help you get your class schedule here without your TSI scores. So it's very important that you make this one of your upcoming steps to do. You can do this right now. There's no waiting for you to sign up for the TSI or to turn in your scores or to see if you're exempt already, okay? I'm gonna pause for a quick moment. I've been talking. I wanna see if I have any burning questions that I need to answer before I move on to my guest, Ms. Palmer, with the financial aid information. So is a math class, if a college math was taken, is the TSI required? We'll check. Typically, college algebra or business math would be the 2 classes we're looking for TSI completeness for those 2 for the math area. But once we get your transcripts in, we can let you know based on what we have access to already. But typically, C or better in college math or business math or maybe some type of statistics course intro, depending on what the class is though. So for transfers, will we get priority to a 2-bedroom apartment? I'm gonna let the housing folks talk about priorities. We'll talk more about that. If we can access our TSU homepage, is there a way to choose a minor? That's a good question, Courtney. And Courtney is the same Courtney from that's coming for the band. I think that's the same Courtney that I've been chatting with via email. Courtney, if it's not, welcome, Courtney. Minors are not required for every major at TSU. Some require them, some do not. Your academic advisor will explain if a minor is required when you meet with them during your orientation and your advising sessions for registration. Not every major requires a minor, and you don't have to always declare a minor, your first year at TSU. So all of those things will be helped by your academic advisor, will be answered by your academic advisor. Are we eligible? Oh, merit scholarships. I got a whole section on merit scholarships. So I think it's Anuli, I may be saying it wrong, but Anuli, we got a whole section on scholarships. We'll talk about that. Will offer letters come before making a final decision? Ashley, it may not. This is a weird year. If you Google FAFSA, FAFSA, you'll see all types of news articles. This was the year of all years. This is the first time in decades the federal government has changed the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA. And because of the changes, it's just delayed everything. And so typically by March, we would have award letters going out, and that would give you time by May 1st to make a decision. But we are still working to make sure our systems are updated. So I can't say for sure that your letters will be out there before May 1st, but many schools across the nation will be giving you extra time to make those decisions. So don't think that you have to do it on May 1st. That's more of like a, unofficial decision signing day. It's not the official one. Once you decide what school is right for you, that's the decision you'll make. So it doesn't have to be on May 1st, even though I know many high schools have planned for decision days coming up. Financial aid typically is the major driver in your decision. So you may be on stage saying you're coming to TSU, but once your award letter comes, that'll give you some reality of where you have the ability to go to college financially. We're confident it'll still be TSU. We're confident you may be going somewhere else, you think, until you see that award letter, and then we're going to see you right here at TSU as well. So we'll be ready for you whenever you make that decision. It may not happen by May 1st. So whenever you have the information available to you, you'll be able to make the decision that's best for you. And if you need our help, we're here. Dr. Butte Queen, Ms. AVP Barker, all of us are here. So whatever questions that we can answer in the process, let us know. What's the move-in date? The team will let you know when the move-in date is. We got that coming for you. Just logged in from Dallas. My son is in the band practice at Lincoln. All right, Lincoln, we know how important the band is at Lincoln because it's important here at TSU. So thank you, parents, for joining in tonight to get this information for your son or your daughter. We're excited to have them choosing to attend Texas Southern University. When is the orientation? I see Mr. Thomas is taking care of that one for me. Is there an absolute deadline to make a decision? Yes. Deadline is the first day of class, August 26th. So you got a whole summer to make a decision, but the sooner the better, because once you know that you're coming to TSU, these steps to enroll will kick in. So don't feel pressured, right? I don't want you to feel like you have to do it by May 1st. If you don't have your award letter by May 1st, or you don't have enough information, then don't make any decision by May 1st. Don't commit to any school. You're hearing TSU say that because it's only fair that we let you know this is not a normal year for colleges and universities. Typically, this all would have been done months ago, but we're delayed across the nation for various hiccups with the new FAFSA. And so that's why we're going to extend the time that we normally would want you to commit to coming to TSU. Normally by May 1st, we want to have an idea who's coming so that we can give you those key next steps, but we're going to give you a little bit of extra time, but there's no set in stone deadline. Once you have that information available, then you can begin the steps to enroll here at TSU. I'm going to go ahead and keep going with the presentation because I know my colleagues are tuning into the Q&A section and they got some good stuff to present to you as well. So with that being said, I'm excited to introduce my first guest speaker, Ms. Palmer. She's here chatting. She's on here right now in the webinar, but she's going to come in and share with you some information regarding the Office of Student Financial Success. All the money that we have waiting to award you and help you to attend TSU, Ms. Palmer, Dr. Addison, Mrs. Thibodeau, and all of the team that are here in the Bell Building with me are getting ready to share that good information with you. So Ms. Palmer, welcome to our webinar and share all of this good information with our new Tigers and their parents.
All right, welcome everyone. Okay, so this screen right here is the FAFSA screen. It's on studentaid.gov. This is where you would go to actually apply for federal aid. We're using the current FAFSA, well, for August, the new students will be using 2425 FAFSA form. So you go ahead and click start form there and go through the process. Our school code is listed there. You want to make sure you either write it down or just you can search it by school as well. Let's see. The new FAFSA has been open, so you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and get started. I definitely recommend it because we're going to start getting those in and start putting award offers in the system by the second week of May. TSU priority deadline is May 1st, so you really want to make sure you get that done ASAP. Okay. All right, so when you do your FAFSA, you're going to have an option, or it's going to give us your eligibility. So the eligibility first starts with gift aid money or free money based off need. That would be a federal Pell Grant, federal supplemental education opportunity grant, all of the grants. Those are gift aid monies based off need that do not require repayment. So they're all listed there for you to see. And then we look into other options for funding, such as student loans as well. You have subsidized loan and the unsubsidized, as well as Parent Plus loan. So there are some differences in these loans. The subsidized and unsubsidized loan are not credit-based. Students are eligible for that depending on their independency status. It's going to be the amount of money they get, as well as the credits that they may be enrolling or bringing in and transferring in, if so. Subsidized is considered the loan that does not accumulate interest while the student is actively attending at least part-time. So some students opt to just receive subsidized, and some say I want it all, which is fine either way because we can help you with that. Parent Plus loan is for the parents to do. So that's an option for dependent students. If you are in housing, or if you would like to have extra funds for living expenses or just supplies in general, the parent has that option to apply for the Parent Plus loan. It is credit-based. So parent can apply for that. Once they are approved, then they can borrow up to the max of eligibility. That's based off the need. The need is based off of the FAFSA results and the cost of attendance. So you can borrow up to the cost of attendance for that. Now, if the Parent Plus loan is declined, let's say your credit check was a declined offer, you're not at loss, the student then gets additional unsubsidized loan. So either way it goes, just work with us on that. We can help you get situated. Work study is another option. You're working for the campus. You don't have to repay that, of course, because you're getting money while you're in school.
Ms. Palmer, I see a question in the chat about what if they didn't put TSU on their initial FAFSA? Can they do that still?
Yes, that's a great question. You can always go back to your FAFSA and make an adjustment or make an edit. So the way to do that is you will log back into your FAFSA where it says access existing form. You're going to click there. And then once you click there, it's going to have you log in if you're not already. And then you go to activities. And then you would say make a correction or add a school. So there you can add our school to it. If you don't add us to your FAFSA, we won't have visibility of it and we won't be able to award you. So that's very important that you have us listed on your FAFSA application.
Ms. Palmer, many students know about work study, but they don't often know how they're awarded work study. Is there anything new this year with the FAFSA that allows them to get work study, or how will they know if they've been awarded work study?
That's a really great question. We are working through that because it is a bit newer this year. So I recommend students that are interested in it. We have a work study. We have work study department. You want to come down and see us between 1 and 5. I'm not too sure how that's going to go yet. We're working through that. Let's just say we're working through it, but it's going to be handled. We have some students
we'll provide more information during orientation sessions, and we're going to have some more opportunities to engage with students and parents. So more to come when it comes to the different types of awards. But a really good question, because I know work study is typically one of those sought after awards to help students afford. I said we were debt-free school. We try our very best. Work study is a great way to meet that obligation of being as debt-free as possible.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat. Okay, so this is an example of the financial aid award letter or award offer, excuse me. You're going to see the breakdown of the cost of attendance. Then you're going to see some of the just the tuition fees. So let me explain a bit, because some people are getting a little confused once they see cost of attendance. Cost of attendance is an estimated amount based off of what the government or Department of Education thinks that you will accumulate in cost as a student. So when you see the larger numbers, it's not necessarily saying this is what you're going to owe us. It's saying your cost to attend as a student. Now, what is expected to be paid would be the tuition and fees. So as you see on this example, it has non-billable items, and then it goes to type, tuition fees, loan fees, book and supplies, room and board. So it breaks it all down for you. Okay, you want to do that? There we go. So on the same award offer, go ahead. Ms. Parker?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys answered the question. A parent put I guess she needs to adjust her income. Did we address that?
No, I have not
Yes,
addressed
she needs to adjust her income. So I don't know if there's a form that financial aid has that she can use. Is it online, or how does she go about doing that?
So when it comes down to any kind of professional judgments, we definitely want to complete the FAFSA as the questions are asking at the moment. And then you want to meet with a financial aid advisor and go into details of why you want to adjust your income. There are going to be a specific amount of documentation that we request, and then we will work with you and the student through student forums. So it's a little bit more in-person appointment that we will go a little bit more in-depth one-on-one basis. It's a case-by-case basis. It says, do you have an appointment? You don't need an appointment. You can come to the campus. And let's see, where can we get questions regarding military? We do have a veteran office as well. If you're awarded the max amount of federal Pell Grant, are you still eligible for any of the others? Yes, you are.
Is there somewhere, because I know you said they can come to campus, but I'm hearing these people may be in Dallas or somewhere else. Is there a contact for that parent who needs to be able to adjust that income form?
Yes, but it does not initiate with the parent. It initiates with the student. So once the FAFSA and once the awards go through, and once we start having access to those forms, then we would go a little bit more in detail, and that would be listed on the student forms account for the student to complete with parent. But I can provide my contact information. Perfect. In case, we can kind of discuss that a little bit more. But as of this moment, it wouldn't be, I don't believe it would be done at this moment. Not yet. We have to go through the process first of getting the forms. But yeah, I will put my information in the chat.
And I see in the chat that many students and parents are asking about veterans benefits. I'm going to actually put a link on, I'm not sure if you guys will all be able to see the chat or not. Let's see, I'm going to do everyone, but I'm going to put a link to our website, the Veterans Affairs website. So hopefully everyone can see the chat section. I've put a link there. So if you're a veteran, first and foremost, veterans and dependents with veterans, we thank you for your service to our nation. If you're active military, we thank you for your active service to our nation. We are proud to serve our veterans and their families with educational benefits. So there's a link there. I'm going to say it out loud though, tsu.edu/veteransaffairs. Or if you just go to our TSU website and you hover over admissions, you'll see financial aid and scholarships, and you'll also see a link for veterans or Veterans Affairs. So there you will see a list of contacts, Mr. Bowers, Ms. Lane. You'll also see a checklist of things you'll need to turn in, and you've got plenty of time for that. That's not one of those urgent things that needs to happen today, for example. That can happen in some time over the next couple of weeks and even months before school starts in August. What if my parents' income is based on my 2023 tax return, but that is no longer their income? There will be an opportunity for you to make adjustments to your parents' income or to your income, but you got to first be awarded though. It's hard to get ahead of the awarding process. Let you award, because sometimes the incomes don't, at some point, the income that you're changing won't majorly affect your financial aid award letter. You may think it will because it's changed. But let's get you awarded first. And then once you see your award information, if you have questions or feel like there can be an adjustment, the team will be available all summer long. So we will be available during orientation sessions, before orientation, to help you with any updates. But it's hard for, as Palmer is saying, it's hard to fix something that we don't know is broken just yet. We got to see what it is first, and then we'll be able to guide you on how to fix that once we know what we're fixing, okay?
Yes, but I do also want to say, if your parent, it says, what if my parents' income is based on 23 tax returns? So the FAFSA, both FAFSAs, even the 23, 24, and then the newest one is not 23 taxes yet. It should be 22 and 21. So you can go back and make a correction to your FAFSA if it had the wrong tax year. So I don't know if that's what you were saying or if you were just saying the income changed as of 23, but we can talk more about that sidebar.
I see a question about residency. How does residency work with military? Because I will be moving there soon. Will I be able to get in-state tuition? The team in the Veterans Affairs office, they'll be able to clarify. They'll use your DD-2-214 to see where your home of entry is. And there may be some rules or updates that allow a non-Texas resident to qualify for Texas residency if you're, if you're stationed here in Texas. So let the experts handle that one. That would be a great question to ask Ms. Lane, Mr. Bowers, or Dr. Addison. Typically, there are some provisions that let a non-Texas resident pay in-state tuition if they're stationed in Texas, but the official answer will come from our Veterans Affairs team. All right, let me go ahead. Colleagues, we'll keep reviewing the questions because a lot of questions about financial aid naturally. Ms. Palmer, you want to cover what's on this particular slide real quick?
Yes, so whenever you're in the My Student portal, you're going to see that award offer. And then if you keep scrolling through the financial aid section in the portal, you will see your award letter or the finance planning award letter. So this is the breakdown of your personalized financial aid based off of your eligibility, the tuition charges on there, and just the difference between the two so you can know if there is going to be any additional expenses for you. That's what this one is. I'm sorry. And answering these chat.
Go ahead. I'm going to move over to the cost of attendance, because that's really kind of the other piece of this financial puzzle, right? Ms. Palmer and Dr. Addison and the team, they're going to be working with your financial aid information very soon. First 2 weeks of school, we'll start the process of sending out award information. Someone did ask me to go back a slide, so I'm going to honor that request right now. I read that, and I'm going to do it right now. You wanted to know how to log in. Here's the log. Remember, from any TSU's website, you'll see the My TSU icon at the top of the page, and then you will actually click the current student portal. No more prospects for nobody on this call. You're all current students right now since you've already been admitted, and then these are the credentials you will use. I would have emailed you your student email address. Now, if you didn't get that email, double check your spam folder. Also, I just sent out a survey maybe a week or so ago. So you should have gotten an email from SurveyMonkey, unless you were recently admitted. So if I just sent you your admission letter over the past 4 days, you didn't get that email, but everybody else, you should. As a matter of fact, I'm nosy now. Light up the Q&A for me. If you got the survey from SurveyMonkey, let me know that you got it. I want to make sure that you got a chance. That's how you can tell us if you're coming to TSU right now. It's not official. We won't, lock you in, but we want to know how many students are already planning to attend TSU based on the information. I got it. Yes, I see the I got it's there. Daniel, Nevaeh, Taya, yes. So thumbs up. So please, if you got that survey, please light up the Q&A for me. I want to have a record that you got it, because that's your first way to let us know that you're planning to attend TSU, or if you need any help. We got lots of questions coming in the Q&A, but if you fill out your survey, we gave you a chance on the survey to let us know if you have questions. Parents, your scholar got a survey emailed to them through SurveyMonkey. So if you need specialized or individualized information, you can use that information. So I thank you for those of you who told me that you got the survey. Yes, yes, I got all the I got it's perfect. Good stuff. I'm glad that you were able to get that. But the person who asked about the credentials to log in, these are the credentials right here. And that QR code will take you to a page if you need to reset your password. If you didn't do it right the first time or don't remember it or what have you, you can always call our help desk, our OIT help desk, 713-313-4357. That's help. All right, let me go back to this
Dr.
slide.
Armstrong, somebody asked, how do they confirm attendance?
We're going to send an email. The last slide that I'm going to show you is how to do that. We're not ready for that yet. We want you to get as much information from our university as possible. Your financial aid information, turn in all the different things we need. We're going to send you an official confirmation to attend request in your student email. So it's very important that you have access to your student email, because we're going to send that information to you in your student email. But between now and then, I sent all of our, and even if you've been newly admitted over the past 4 days, you're going to also get a survey from me very soon. So if you already have the survey, that's your first chance to tell us if you're planning to attend TSU. It was the first question we wanted to know. Are you planning to attend TSU? But we will have an official confirmation to attend form that we're going to send out in the next couple of weeks, certainly by May 1st. So once you're ready to confirm, very soon you'll have an an official way to do that in your student email account, okay? All right, let's talk about money. You've heard about what we have to offer in financial aid. This is why we have so much to offer you in financial aid. Mr. Thomas is coming in, wiping his eyes because he understands that all of this magic is based on these numbers that we're showing you right now. So I know we have a lot of in-state students on right now. So my in-state students and parents, this information is for you. That first section, that's typically what it costs to attend TSU. And you can see the cost, tuition and fees, about $10,000 a year. Room and boards, about $10,000 a year. That'll depend on where you live, either on or off campus. Books and supplies. I've given those all highlights because those are direct costs. Every student who goes to TSU will pay tuition and fees. Many students who attend TSU will either live on campus or off campus. So you'll still have some type of room and board in some cases. You all will buy books. You'll all need supplies. Now, personal transportation, you all will have those real expenses, but they're going to vary by student. What one student needs to come from Chicago versus a student who comes from, downtown Houston is going to be very different. So each student can determine what those costs will look like for them, but that's a real dollar amount up there, right? $28,000 can be a typical cost for all of the costs of attendance. That's not the bill. Mr. Thomas won't send you a bill for $14,000 per semester for my in-state students, but those first three typically can be divided by 2. And that can typically be what it costs if you're planning to live on campus, take a full semester, right? 15 hours for fall, 15 hours for spring. Here at TSU, we have a saying, because we want you to graduate right on time. We say it takes 15 hours times 8, 15 times 8 means you graduate or equals graduate. So that's the equation, 15 times 8. Equals graduate. So 15 hours a semester for 4 years, 8 semesters will mean that you will qualify. Now, for my dual credits out there and my transfer students, your equation is different, right? You may be doing, 15 times 2 means you'll be done very soon. There's different ways we can have you get your 2 years and 3 years done. But for a first-time freshman coming straight out of high school, 15 times 8. So all of these numbers up here, you would divide by 2, half for the fall semester, half for the spring semester. The out-of-state costs Chicago, I'm talking to you, New Orleans, anybody outside of Texas, if you hear me, this is your time to tune in. We love the fact that you've chosen to attend TSU or you're considering TSU. It means a lot to us, but it only makes sense if the money makes sense. And I don't mean to pun this. I'm talking about real dollars and real cents here. We want you to go to a school that you can afford to go to. And if it's TSU, welcome. We are excited to have you. But if it's not TSU, we want to work with you to get you to the school that you can afford to go to. If we don't get you your freshman year, we're going to wait until you can transfer. If we miss you all first 4 years, we're going to give you a great graduate program here, or a law degree, or a PhD or EDD. We only want you to attend TSU if you can afford it. We love the fact that you've chosen us. We know why you've chosen us. We are that HBCU, but it comes with a cost. So parents, look at the cost down there for out-of-state tuition and fees. Almost $24,000. That's just tuition and fees. You got room and board. That's another $10,000, $11,000. You got books and supplies. Those 3 numbers by themselves total $35,000. And we haven't even talked about hair and makeup and movie night and fun night and pizza night and fun trip to Dallas and fun trip to Baton Rouge. All that costs. So make sure you have a financial plan to attend TSU. The Parent Plus loan is real. Mr. Thomas is coming on. He got some things he's going to share with you. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a moment. Anything that you want, I know you have a slide coming up about your website, but anything that you want to highlight or add about what the cost looks like for the upcoming school year?
Thank you, Dr. Armstrong, and welcome to all of our future Tigers. You have stated it very well, Dr. Armstrong and Ms. Palmer, about understanding and knowing the cost of what it will take to attend TSU. We would love to have each and every one of you attend, but it's not always a reality financially. And so, of course, the financial aid team works very hard to package all of our students to make TSU as affordable as possible, but it's not always a reality. So those figures that you see are very accurate for our in-state students, and I believe most of our students are in-state students. It does require about $20,000 per year for you to attend TSU. That's if a student is staying on campus with a meal plan And for our out-of-state students, it takes about $32,000 to $33,000 per year for a student staying on campus with the meal plan and taking 15 credit hours. And so we always try to make sure that we work with students in understanding their financial aid award, because frankly, a lot of those awards do not cover that total cost unless the student or the parent agrees to take out all those loans and the grants that come with the FAFSA. Another thing I want to stress, the Parent Plus loans, especially for our out-of-state students that wish to attend, that loan is in the parent's name, and the parent has to pass a credit check for that loan. So, you want to keep those things in mind when you're kind of reviewing and kind of making a budget on what it's going to cost to attend here at TSU. But Dr. Armstrong, you stated very well about, what needs to be taken into account when looking at the affordability of attending TSU. Very proud that TSU has not raised tuition rates in, my goodness, 6-7 years. We've tried to keep that cost low so that we can, make ourselves affordable and attractive to you and want you to attend. But that is the reality of especially out-of-state students that seek to attend here at TSU. Dr. Armstrong, if you want to go to our website real quick, I just want to share with everyone our page. Yes, so what you see now is just the student accounting web page. If you go to www.tsu.edu and just search in the search bar for student accounting, you'll pull up on our page. I want to highly encourage that you go check out this page. A lot of good information there. If you just have general questions about your account and what it takes to be considered an enrolled student, a lot of information is there. On the right-hand side, you'll see a list of all the staff that's in our area. If you click that name, and below that name, is the responsibility for that person. So if you have a specific question about a third party, because we work very closely, of course, with the scholarship office, financial aid, the veteran affairs. A lot of the students have third parties. Parents have 529 payment plans, or they have their employers or are helping with paying their tuition and fees. We work with all those entities to help students pay their tuition and fees. So if you click that name, you'll get a direct email pop up, and you can ask that person a direct question about your account, or if you have questions about anything regarding your tuition and fees. On the left-hand side, you'll see a column just kind of giving a general overview of everything that our office is responsible for. We have, of course, the tuition and fee information there. Some students will need to set up the installment plans. So there's information about how that process is done. The university has one installment plan, and it breaks down your payments into 4 equal payments after the financial aid is applied. So more information about that will be forthcoming really when most of you are awarded your financial aid for 24-25. We have the withdrawal and drop dates, which is always very important. 1090 AT, which was a hot topic. The taxes were due on the 15th. Hope everybody filed their taxes. But that due date was on the 15th, so we provide that tax statement to parents and students, and just all kind of general information about the student accounting department and what we offer our students to help them make a good, sound decision about their financial status here at TSU. Want to stress again, make sure that you go into your MyTSU web and get familiar with all of the different avenues to get information about your financial aid award. With Dr. Armstrong also mentioned the student accounting page there, where you can view your statements once you register, because once you register for classes, that is when you will have a bill on your account. The bill won't be in your mom's name, it won't be in your dad's name or anybody else. The bill will be in your name, students. And so you will be responsible for that bill. But of course, working with all of the different areas to help you satisfy that bill. So I'm going to hang out in the chat, answer any questions if you have any. Like I said, encourage you to go by the website, familiarize yourself with all of those, with all that information and the due dates that we have. But of course, we'll be contacting students as we get closer to the beginning of the term. And then looking forward to seeing all of you during our Tiger Preview days, as well as our orientation days. Thank you.
Mr. Thomas. I see a lot of questions about housing. I know the team, I see Ms. Raven is on and Ms. Barker is on. So I know we have a lot of questions about housing. And so we're going to cover that. But one recurring question is, are freshmen required to live on campus? Not officially. We anticipate having a large class this year. We typically have, so many beds or so many housing facilities set aside for freshmen. So we don't mandate that freshmen live on campus, but we do encourage freshmen to live on campus. And that's why we encourage you to apply on time and get your financial aid taken care of on time, because it's better to live on campus than off campus, but it's not a requirement that we mandate. We have some language in our website that does say if you live outside of a 75-mile radius, but we certainly want as many of our freshmen and our new transfer students to live on campus, but it's not a requirement that we stick to every particular year. Once we have more housing on campus, we certainly will have the ability to have more freshmen and transfer students live on campus. Another question I'm seeing in the chat is scholarships. So I went ahead and went over to Mr. Thomas's website, but let's talk about the money though, because that's one key piece of financial aid. And Mr. Thomas and several individuals on campus, we review transcripts and applications year-round as part of our process to review students when they're coming into TSU. So we've got 3 categories for freshman students for our merit scholarships: our Regent Scholarship, our Presidential Scholarship, and our Tiger Genesis Scholarship. So if you have a minimum 3.0 and you're ranked in one of those top 20 or top 10 or top 5 rankings, you may have already received. Someone asked, when will we start sending out scholarship notices? Woo, we've already sent out $4 million in scholarship notices, and we've got more to go. We're still looking at scholarships and things like that. So please monitor your your TSU email account and your personal email, because that's where we're going to send information. But I do have some great news. Every student who attends TSU, every new student, new freshman or new transfer student, you will receive at least one scholarship, the minimum $1,000 Tiger Paw Scholarship. If you are offered a higher scholarship offer, the transfer or Tiger Genesis, that will replace the Tiger Paw. Tiger Paw wouldn't be an additional scholarship. We want to make sure every student at least gets that one scholarship, that $1,000 Tiger Paw. But for my out-of-state students, that does not come with a waiver. That is not a merit-based scholarship. That's more of like a need-based scholarship. So it doesn't have the waiver that many of you know about. In Texas, the state of Texas gives the university a handful of waivers, about 300-400 a year, to award to students who receive competitive scholarships. All of these scholarships are competitive scholarships. Academic scholarships are competitive as long as the scholarship is coming from the university, not a department. Departments don't have the same competitiveness because they're unique to a department, or those funds are given to the university by a donation or by a company. So there are some rules about waivers, but in general, merit-based scholarships that are general in nature, athletic scholarships, and talent-based scholarships, choir, band, debate, all of those, cheer, dance, those are all opportunities for students to compete to be in. Every student can apply to be in the band. They don't all make it, right? The Ocean of Soul knows who they're looking for, but every student has a fair and equal chance to apply to be in the band, or to be on the cheerleading team, or to be on the debate team. So because it's open to general students, it's a competitive scholarship. Competitive means it qualifies for a waiver. But once we award our waivers for the year, we don't have any more. So not every scholarship will come with a waiver. We're going to try our best, though. If there's a waiver available and you qualify for one of those 3 categories of scholarships for my out-of-state students, international students, it may come with a waiver. But scholarships are not guaranteed. Waivers are not guaranteed. They are on an offer basis. So if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher, you've not yet received a merit-based scholarship, it may be coming very soon, and I do mean very soon, or it may not come because by the time we get to your application information, we've already awarded the allocation for the year. That goes back to making sure that you go to a school that you can afford to go to. I don't want you holding up, not confirming to go to a school because you're waiting to hear from a scholarship from TSU. We don't tell every student the status of their application for scholarships. We award students like every other school does. We award based on the interest that we see, that the eligibility that the student has met, and more importantly, the availability of those funds. We have way more students who qualify for scholarships than we have scholarship funds to give all those students. So we use application admission dates. We use other types of ways to identify students so that we can award it in a fair and equitable way. So these are those general university scholarships, but don't just sleep on these, or don't just rely on these. So there's a whole lot more on our website. So if you go to tsu.edu/scholarships, you'll see links to our university department scholarships and our external scholarships. Look at all of these TMCF and other amazing partners that we have. TMCS stands for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. We are a Thurgood Marshall College Fund member institution. They support all public HBCUs, and TSU is a public HBCU. But I see Nike on here, McDonald's, Deloitte Foundation, CVS. We go to CVS every other day. Look at them giving TSU a few dollars to give back to students in the form of scholarships. Nike is on here, Ford, FedEx. I'm in FedEx every other day sending packages to alumni for recruitment events. So use your Google resources, use your search engines. There's lots of money out there for you to apply for. Use all of that. If you're coming out of state, you need those scholarships. If you're coming in state, you want those scholarships, because once you've paid TSU what you owe TSU, we give the rest back to you as a refund payment to help with those personal and other expenses that you may have. So get all your scholarship searches. Graduation is coming up. You're going to have your aunts and your big mamas and cousins sending you those $25, $50 gift cards. Keep all of that. All that will come in handy over the summer as you're planning to attend TSU. And then we've covered student accounting. So Miss Raven Williams, let me see who else is on. I know Miss Barker was on a moment ago, but she's probably working behind the scenes. But Miss Williams is on, representing our amazing team in residential life and housing. They just finished an amazing Spring Fest week. So I know that they're catching their breath because they gave these students the Spring Fest of their life. We just had a new Mr. and Miss TSU crowned. We just had new SGA officers. So they've been busy because much of the action that happens on campus with our student life happens around residential life and housing. So Ms. Williams, I know you've seen the chat, so you know that they want to know how many roommates, how soon, when do I pay, how do I pay? So Ms. Raven has all the answers. So Ms. Raven, take it away.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, fellow Tigers. I am here to break down your housing dreams and wishes. So if you did not know, we are the stars of the show. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong, for breaking that down. So the housing application for fall opens May the 1st, Wednesday, May the 1st. So please be looking out. I had one parent say, what time? So the people are ready. They want to know what time we're going to drop the application. So we will be dropping the application May the 1st. So please be checking your emails and the website. Okay, this is the perfect. Please look at this email. Keep this on your tabs because we will be dropping our application May the 1st. Summer applications are open for your student. If you're a transfer student or if you're a first-time freshman and you are interested in staying with us for the summer, you do have to be registered to stay with us. For the fall, if you're not taking any summer classes, that application has opened. To stay with us for one session is $600. If you would like to stay with us for both sessions, it is the same price. So it would be a total of $1,200 for both summer sessions. Okay. When you apply for housing for the fall, you will have an administrative fee of $200. It is non-refundable. Okay. So the process is you apply, you have a $200 non-refundable administrative fee. Then you will be signing your lease. Then you will also have to show proof of payment, meaning you send us over your award letter. So if you're an in-state student, you have to have a minimum of $20,000 be awarded to you and accept those loans, grants, and scholarships. We have to have proof of that. Okay. If you are an out-of-state student, you must have a minimum of $30,000 and accept those scholarships and grants and send it over to us. Okay. You also have the option to get a confirmation email to pay your first installment as a first-time freshman of Sorry, let me make sure I get that number right because the parents want to know and the students do too. $679. Okay. So what I tell my students and my parents, if you want that confirmation letter, if you want to make sure that your student has somewhere to stay for the fall, you can wait for financial aid, but if you have it and you want that confirmation letter as soon as possible, then you can pay your first installment and you will receive your confirmation email. Okay. If and you have 10 installments, if you're going to be paying out of pocket, you have 10 installments of $679. That will be adjusted. Your first installment is due the June 1st. If you do not make that June 1st, if your student doesn't know if they're going to come to Texas Southern, because some students do not know. I know they're going to be opening that confirmation on May the 1st, but some students will make that decision at a later date. That is the reality of it. You will still have an option to make your first installment at a different date or in a different month, but that means that you will be doubling your payments. Okay, so if you start May 1st, your first installment would be June 1st. However, if you don't make that first installment and you make your decision later, you will be doubling up those payments. Okay, our first-time freshmen females will be located in the University Towers. Okay, that is the Goddesses. Miss Melton and Miss Champagne will be your building managers. The culture at the Towers is beautiful for our young ladies. We make sure that they're matriculated. Okay, that is a dorm style property. That means there are two young ladies in one room and they share a bathroom. There are several young ladies on there. There is a community, like a living room space with a TV. There's convenient, it's like a vending machine on every floor, and there's a washer on every floor. Okay, there is double occupancy in these rooms with one restroom that they share. For our first time freshmen males, they will be at Transformation Village. If your student is alum, if your parent is alum, if you know someone else who is an alum, it is formerly known as UAV, Urban Academic Village. We are now rebranding, and it is Transformation Village, and that is also a double occupancy. And it's garden style. So you will have another roommate in your room that you share. Okay. That is where our freshman females will be at University Towers and our freshman males will be at Transformation Village. Okay. For our transfer students, if you are on the call, you have the option of being at Tier Western, which is our on-campus housing, and Cullen, which is our off-campus housing. If it is off-campus, you will have to provide your own transportation to get from campus to off-campus and to campus. Okay, freshman and transfer move-in is August the 18th. Okay, so let's do these dates again. So May the 1st is when the housing application opens. June the 1st is when your first installment is due, and August 18th is when transfer and first-time freshman move-in is. Okay. And I know we get this question often. You have move-in on the 18th, which is a week before we start school. Hopefully, I put my fingers up. I know Armstrong's on the phone, right, on the call. So the week before, freshman week is mandatory. We want you guys to get acclimated into the culture, into the family of Texas Southern. We are your home away from home. So the freshman week, you're going to learn about the Tiger Walk. You're going to learn how it was a street and how during the civil rights movement that students were it wasn't safe for them to walk across the street and go to class because people who lived in the community were throwing rocks at them. These are the things that you'll be learning during freshman week. So you're going to get acclimated, and it's very important, and it is mandatory. Okay. Trying to make sure I stay on point today. So we will be doing property tours on the first day of in-person orientation. Okay, so once we start in-person orientation, we will be doing in-person tours of our property. Okay, and you can also do a virtual tour on our website, and we have those. Our website is here, so you can definitely go to our website and check it out. Things for you all to know, students and parents. For my parents who are letting their children go off for the very first time, there is no overnight visitation. So you don't have to worry about your student being laid up and not going to class and being with that guy or being with that girl. We do not have overnight visitation. That is not acceptable with living with us. We do not have opposite sex living in the same room. So no girls living with boys, no boys living with girls. We only do same sex room assignments. Freshmen can have cars. Like I said, these are most questions that we get asked. They asked this question last orientation. If you know who you want your roommate to be, you both must get that confirmation email. So like I said, you applied, you paid your non-refundable $200, you send over your proof of financial aid, or you paid your first installment, and then you got your confirmation email. Both of you all have to follow that step and get that confirmation email for you to select your roommate. If you do not know who you want your roommate to be, we are a living and learning environment. So our main objective is for you to live with someone who's in your school. I'm an alumni of Texas Southern University. So I'm from the School of C. I would be roomed with either someone who's in ERM or journalism, because I'm a radio, television, and film major, or I will be roomed with someone who's a radio, television, film major. We want you guys to succeed, okay? There are no early move-ins. So if you are a student coming from a different place and you're not in band, you're not in football, you don't have any of those, you're not a specialty student, then you cannot move in early, okay? If you are one of those students, you will get that clearance from those departments, okay? As I stated, we are a living and learning environment. We love to say we are your home away from home. And how we do that is, one, through our programming, and two, we check in on your students and we check in on you through our wellnesses and our room checks. So we come in once a week and say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Any issues? How's school going? We really want to know how you guys are doing, because you live with us and we live with you. So there's going to be an RA on your floor, in your building, and they're going to be just a call away. Your property manager will be there. They come in and they check in, and we do programming. I'm glad I made that segue. That is how we do our programming. Mr. Armstrong said, we just got our Miss TSU, and I said it last orientation. This is our, 6th or 7th year in a row where Miss TSU or Mr. TSU, Mr. TSU was an RA, and Miss TSU went through our residential life and housing pageant, which is our scholarship pageant, okay? That is one of the first programs that we're going to be putting on for the fall. So if you got that prom dress, if you were an escort, if you had that prom suit and you are looking for a scholarship, you can participate, okay? We are definitely encouraging you to do so. Okay, that is our first program. We also do the stand battle. So if you have dance moves and you thought about being on a majorette, if you ever seen a dancing doll and you like to dance for fun, we want you to participate. I'm in my TSU pullover today because after this orientation, I'm going to our step show. Okay, it is the battle of the classes. Okay, and the people are competitive. They're super excited. It gives our students the opportunity to be creative and not only go to class, but create community amongst themselves. Okay. We also have grocery bingo. We have our store on campus, but this is something that Residential Life and Housing does, where we give away, we play bingo and you get groceries. We've given away TVs, we've given away watches. It is a really fun program for our students to put on. And we also have, I'm the reigning champ of the lip sync battle that we put on last semester as well. So we are really big on our programming, and we're here to assist you guys. We want you guys to be engaged, and through our programming, we kind of help with that retention. Okay. And if you have any questions, definitely go to www.tsu.edu/housing. You can also follow us at TSU_RLH Cares. And for my parents who are on the call, you can follow us on Facebook at RLH Cares. So at TSU_RLH Cares is Instagram, and on Facebook is RLH Cares. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, if you want to know about programming, let's say you don't get an email when it comes to our application, the housing application will be there. The summer application is already there. RA applications will be there. Any events that we're putting on, we also do our own orientation, I should say, for our properties as well. So we'll have any questions and answers, things that you need. It's not technically orientation, but we answer any questions that you guys have, and we get to know you guys a little bit, and you get to meet us. So yes.
Ms. Raven, I'm seeing a question. Can students have pets in residential life and housing?
So we do accept emotional support animals, and you would need to go through disability services.
So there is a process to have an emotional support animal, and once you apply for housing, they will connect you with the various office on campus to get that approved. So there is a process for that. You just can't bring your favorite turtle to campus. There's a process that you have to go through if you have an emotional support animal, which is pets are pets, but there are some times where students can apply to have an emotional support pet or animal that's approved by the Office of Disability Services. So we'll connect you with those resources during orientation.
Yes. When is orientation week? So move in is on that Sunday, and I would want to say orientation week should start on the 19th.
Sounds right. Yes. We'll have preview days during the summer. We've got about 10, 11 days for scheduling. Those are going to be pre-orientation type of activities where you come to campus and take care of any outstanding requirements to complete registration. But we're going to have new student orientation week once you move in. So you'll move in on Sunday, the 18th, and starting on Monday, the 19th through that Friday, you'll have a jam-packed week of things to get you acclimated to Texas Southern University. And that'll be our orientation week, new student week. And then we'll start classes that following Monday.
I do see a question about courtyard being an option. Courtyard is not an option for our first-time freshman females. University Towers is our option for our first-time freshman females. All students do have to pay the $200 non-refundable administrative fee. If your financial aid covers it, you will get that back once you get your refund. I think that answers that question. How does TSU pick roommates? So you'll have a questionnaire that we'll do once you apply, and then we'll also do it for we'll do it by compatibility and your major. So I hope I answered your question, Kim.
All right, Ms. Raven, if you can stay in the chat, the Q&A for me, I'm going to go ahead. I got a few more slides I want to talk about. Here are some of the things that Ms. Raven was talking about when it comes to the amazing opportunities to live on campus. And there are some virtual tour information that you can see inside some of those rooms at this QR code, or if you go to the TSU website for housing on the top right corner, you'll see some fun things about meal plans, meal plan exemptions. If you live on campus in one of our official campus facilities, you must have a meal plan. New freshman students must pick a 19 or a 14 meal plan. We'll talk more about that when we open up housing on May 1st. So more information about meal plan options and all the fun stuff about that will be sent your way. But please, if you have unique questions, Ms. Raven's going to be in the Q&A section. She'll be going through to make sure she answers those questions, okay? I'm going to take a quick moment. I want to make sure that you understand the main focus of coming to TSU, and that's to get this amazing college education. So we have team members in the Office of Retention and Matriculation Success, mainly our first-year experience team, and I'm going to see if any of my colleagues, they're not still on right now, but during your first year here at TSU, whether you're a new freshman or a new transfer student, you're going to have a chance to connect with an academic advisor. We call those enrollment and completion advisors. They're going to help you navigate the world of academia for higher education, right? They're going to help you pick your class schedule. They're going to help you know what's available in the Fairchild building, including our Academic Skills Center. They're going to tell you all about our amazing tutorial services. So there's a lot of information that we're going to share with you during our preview and our orientation days, including the first year experience, where your enrollment and completion advisor will help you with all the key things, including your degree plan. Parents and students, I know we're almost out of time for the webinar, but this is a sample of how a degree plan looks. This is what you're coming for. This is the contract you're going to enter into as you attend TSU. On the left side, I'm showing you like a visual of how it looks in our catalog, right? You see the classes broken down by core classes, general requirements, your major requirements. This student is majoring in business and management. So once this student has taken all the classes that are on this degree plan, they will graduate from TSU. But on the right side, I've given you the version of how it looks in your My TSU portal in the DegreeWorks. So anytime you see DegreeWorks, just know that that's what your electronic degree plan looks like. But it tells you your major, classification, your school or college, what your current TSU GPA is, when we anticipate you graduating so that you stay on track. It shows your standing. So if you fall below good standing, you'll know what you got to do to get back into good standing, but it also tells you what sections are incomplete, what classes you need to take still. So you don't have to ever guess or wonder what's next for you. Your electronic degree plan in the degree work section in your My TSU portal, that's how you'll navigate that. But your first year experience advisor, all of us here at TSU that helps you with orientation and preview days will better explain that when you're on campus during orientation. There's a lot of things you'll be able to do on campus in terms of student success, accessibility services, student health center, career services. I do want to highlight two of our key student success areas for our new students. Career services, the team, Mr. Flowers, Ms. Barker, they work, year round to make sure that we bring some amazing companies to our campus to showcase their jobs and their careers and their internships for our Tigers. So you'll get a chance to connect with these companies during your time here at TSU, maybe even have an internship or a part-time job or a full-time job offer by the time you leave TSU. But for parents in particular, but for all of our scholars, some of you may just need extra help to be even more successful while you're here at TSU. That extra help could come from our Office of Accessibility Services. Ms. Sharon Benavidez is the director there. If you click that QR code, that's the website. But you can just see some of the services that they offer. Academic accommodations, that was one of the questions in the chat, in the Q&A. What about accommodations? Academic accommodations are handled through SASO. Support, services, resources. If you have a diagnosed disability, then you may have some additional accommodations granted to you in your classrooms or while you're on campus. All of those things are handled through our Student Accessibility Services Office. We call it SASO for short, but Sharon Benavidez is the director. I've put her email address there with her permission. She told me to let you guys know if you have questions about accommodations or to determine if your student qualifies for an accommodation, maybe they already have one in high school, then Ms. Benavidez and her team will be available to help you with how that works here at TSU. Campus life, we're about to celebrate graduation and we've got our big gala coming up on Saturday. We're gonna raise money for scholarships for students just like you and parents for your students. So while they're on campus, they're gonna have a lot to do. Greek life is big here. We've got all the Divine Nines, over 100+ campus organizations, student government. Caitlin Vault was just named the new Student Government Association president. She can thank me. I recruited her to TSU from Dallas. So I'm excited that she's going to be the new official voice for all of our Tigers because she's a force to be reckoned with from Dallas. So I'm excited to have SGA President-elect Caitlin Vault. We got a new Mr. and a new Miss TSU. So Jackie and Brianna are official Mr. and Miss. They'll start their reign next year when you guys are here as new students. So we're excited. Our debate team, they're traveling the world. They just came back from Ireland where they cleaned up a ton of trophies. And of course, you all know the beautiful sound of our university, the Ocean of Soul Marching Band. And congratulations to many of you who've been chosen to be a part of the Ocean of Soul. One question, though, that I saw recurring in the chat was the stacking of scholarships. Mr. Thomas and I both know this. We both work with the university very closely with scholarships. In order for us to guarantee that every student gets at least one scholarship, we can't stack the general university scholarships. The band scholarships, the athletic scholarships, and those merit scholarships I showed earlier, they're all considered general university scholarships. So in many cases, you'll have to choose either the higher of the two, or if you got two equal offers, the one that you're more passionate about, your academics or the band, or work with your band director. There may be some opportunities, but in most cases, you can't stack those general university scholarships. So you got to choose the higher offer or make the commitment to the group that you want to, definitely be a part of. We know that many of you are coming on band and you have amazing GPAs, but we just don't have enough general university scholarship funds just yet, which is why we're going downtown Saturday to raise more money. The more money that we can raise, the more we can give in scholarships. So, but at this time, we don't stack the general university scholarships. You can stack all other scholarships. If you get a Coca-Cola scholarship, and you get a general university scholarship, or if you start going out there and doing your searches and you start identifying some external scholarships, those can be stacked. It's the general university scholarships that are typically not eligible to be stacked. And then last but not least, the FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's important, parents. This is for you. Thank you for all of you staying on. I see several of us are still on, and we're well past the 7:30 time frame. But parents, the federal government is clear as a bell on this one. We must protect your students' information, and we will. There's no wiggle room about it. So students, your rights, your education records, they are protected under federal law. This is the federal law. It's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act that protects your records. Parents, I know that you're paying for your scholar to go to TSU and they're yours, and we know all of that, but the federal government trumps all of that. So it's not even an age issue. The fact that they're enrolling in an institution of higher education, their information is now protected. We must have written permission from the student to grant access to their records. And we're getting even tighter with that. We're going to start using codes and pins and things because we don't want to break the law, because breaking the law puts us in jeopardy of not being able to do all this amazing stuff here. So please, parents, know that the FERPA is real. Students must submit written permission for us to grant their information to anyone, including parents. There are some things we'll talk about during orientations and those preview days. We'll have some FERPA forms available. So just know that we have to protect your students' information. We will protect their information. We'll do that through the FERPA information. But during orientation, we're going to also talk about the academic calendar, the dates for registration, the catalog, those degree plans. I showed you one degree plan. All of them are into the catalog. So we'll talk about the rules and regulations for attending Texas Southern University in our catalog. We have some important registration dates and drop-in dates and add dates. Students, don't just pick classes lightly. Once you start registering for classes, you're entering into an agreement with our university. As easy as it was for you to enter into the agreement, you'll have to follow some clear guidelines on how to get out of that agreement. It's not just a walk-away process. If you sign up for classes, you must withdraw from those classes in the time that we provide you to do that. It's not a TSU issue, it's a federal government and a state government issue. So it's very important that you begin to know what those dates are. If you go to our website, you'll see a link for student records. All of this information, our drop and add policy, withdrawal policy, our catalog, our calendar dates, and our FERPA information are all under tsu.edu. Just search under admissions. You'll see the Office of Student Records, and all this good stuff waits you there. My last slide, we've made it to the end. My last set of slides, 2 left. I'll go to the last one first. Follow us on social media. Many of you want to be a Ocean or a Sensation, or you want to learn about different organizations and clubs. They're all on social media. They're talking about auditions and tryouts for the fall, and can you join as a freshman, and how can you try out to sensationalize, and all the things that we got here at TSU. So follow all of our social media information, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we're all of that. If you don't know anything about TSU, there's a beautiful video on YouTube about the history of Texas Southern University. You heard Raven talk about the historical nature of our Tiger Walk. Well, you don't have to just hear Mr. Raven talk about it. Go to YouTube and type in TSU history, and you'll see a beautiful video of the history of why we are an HBCU, the historical nature of TSU. But the last slide that I want to share with you is those steps, the steps to enroll. I want to remind everyone who may have just come on, log into your portal. Very soon, we're going to ask you to confirm to attend. Now you can send in your meningitis vaccination record. Now you can send in your TSI scores or request to have them sent or take the TSI. You all know that by now, May 1st, we'll open the application portal for housing. By early May, you'll start to get your financial aid information as long as you've turned in your FAFSA for 24-25 and you added TSU school code to it. So you still have time to double check that. We're going to start registration in May for our new students, and we're going to start sending out our orientation information over the next week or so. Look for that information to come from my email outreach at recruitment@tsu.edu. These steps are available on that QR code right there. And on behalf of all of us here at Texas Southern University, our interim president, Dr. Mary Evans Sias, our board of regents, our administration, our faculty, and our students. We are excited to have you here at TSU. We can't wait to see you on campus, but still remember to keep those things coming in. If you have questions, you can email us at admissions@tsu.edu. Even if it's not admission related, email us at admissions. We will send that to the appropriate office on campus to connect you with the key areas you need help with. We are grateful that you've chosen TSU. We are honored by your choice of TSU. We're going to work hard to make sure that you know you've chosen the right university. So before I end, I'm going to go to the Q&A one last time to see if I have any last questions. Is preview day mandatory? Yes. Attending a preview day will be mandatory because that's how we're going to release you to register for classes. So you've got to sign up for one of our preview days. Even if we have a virtual one, signing up for the virtual one will also satisfy that requirement. Can I live at home as a freshman? Yes, you don't have to live on campus as a freshman. We want you to, but you can live at home if you are in the Houston area. I will be completing my first degree of college, not high school. Will I be able to not be an upperclassman for housing? If you're a new freshman, not with dual credits, but if you're a new freshman, you must live in freshman housing. We don't count dual credit students as transfer students. Transfer students have already graduated from high school. They've already been to a community college already. Dual credit is still considered a first-time freshman until the spring semester. That's when you'll go to a junior status or sophomore status. So we're not going to rob you of a chance to still be able to interact with first-time freshmen. Dual credit students are also considered at every university. Don't let them trick you. You may be a freshman with transfer credits, but you're still a first-time in college student. So you will live in our first time for housing offerings. Yes, I'm going to post this recording on our website under the admissions tab. It's going to say new student information session recording. So you can come back to it over the summer to refresh your notes on what you need to do for steps to enroll. So yes, I'm recording this and we're going to post this. And if you're listening to this as a recording and not live, then feel free to email us at admissions@tsu.edu if you have questions that we didn't answer tonight in the recorded webinar. I think that's the majority of the questions. So I'm going to say officially, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for choosing Texas Southern University. We're going to see you very soon on campus during one of our preview orientation dates. So until we see you, be safe, have a safe rest of your week, and go Tigers. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night. Good evening.